Hello, I am Ava PRATE, and I think if we all work together, we can minimize the coronavirus's effect on society. There is a worldwide pandemic due to the highly contagious COVID-19, which is an infectious disease caused by a new virus. Recently, there has been a worldwide spread of a serious and even fatal respiratory disease called by the new coronavirus. Coronavirus is highly contagious, and if infected, no families are allowed to visit patients in the hospital, even if they are on their deathbed. As many people know, most states are on lockdown, which includes all non-essential businesses to be closed, no large gatherings, with social distancing and quarantining strongly required. Though most of the USA is technically in quarantine, many people are not taking social distancing seriously, and we are still taking part in social events and partying. Some people do not realize the severity and damage that may be caused by taking part in social events. Everyone needs to understand why social distancing and quarantining is so important during this time of global tragedy, and there needs to be ramifications and consequences put in place if not following social distancing guidelines. This virus is one of the biggest problems the world has ever faced at the same time. Small businesses are required to be closed, no one can eat inside restaurants, state facilities such as DMVs are closed, and court dates are even being put on hold. According to the Illinois Department of Public Health, there have been an enormous number of cases in over 209 countries, including 1,475,976 confirmed worldwide cases and 86,979 deaths. Also, in the United States, there are 422,350 confirmed cases and 14,257 deaths. Just in Illinois, there are 13,549 cases and 380 deaths. In Kankakee County, where we are, there are 102 confirmed cases and 5 deaths. These statistics as of April 8th clearly show the severity of the virus. This is an enormous amount of deaths, and according to the National Public Radio, Illinois is expected to peak on April 12th. A peak means that the number of death rates stop inclining and basically flatten or start slowly going down. However, a peak means that still only 50% of the cases are done and about 50 are still going to happen. With this being said, it is very important to continue and even improve social distancing habits in order to support the decline. If people were to quit their social distancing habits at peak, it is very likely that the number of cases would rapidly grow again. Ramifications such as tickets or citations need to be put in place for people who are caught not following the social distancing guidelines in order to make sure the number of cases does not rapidly grow after peak and decline has already begun. According to the Chicago Tribune newspaper, on March 20th, Governor Pritzker ordered a stay-at-home order for all Illinois residents. This includes non-essential business workers to stay at home and residents encouraged to only go out for essential things like food and gas. People are also suggested to stay at least 6 feet apart from others at all times. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, everyone should limit close contact with individuals outside your household in indoor and outdoor spaces. Since people can spread the virus before they even know they are sick, it is important to stay away from others when possible, even if you have no symptoms. These quarantine and social distancing guidelines do make a difference in stopping the spread of the virus. People who follow these guidelines are definitely helping contain the virus. Though guidelines for social distancing and quarantining do help, it is definitely not enough. There are many people who do not follow these guidelines simply because they do not care or do not realize how bad this pandemic is. According to ABC News, there were many spring breakers that decided to travel and party among the virus. One spring breaker in Florida said, "If I get corona, I get corona. At the end of the day, I'm not going to let it stop me from partying." Many young adults are not taking this pandemic seriously and still go out and travel and party. Stricter measures need to be taken to keep people in quarantine since they will not listen and obey the guidelines without any consequences. Putting ramifications and consequences in for not social distancing is the only way to help better contain the virus. If tickets started being written to people not quarantining or distancing, the people who are too inconsiderate will basically be forced into quarantine since they choose to not follow the rules the governor gave Illinois. Many considerate people are already staying home, following social distancing guidelines and encouraging others to do the same. Sadly, however, not everyone stays in, which is why tickets and consequences need to be put in place to truly end the virus. People can advocate for social distancing in many ways. People can post on social media talking about why quarantining is important. People can reach out to others not following social distancing guidelines and try to explain the importance to them and change their mind. Anyone with connection to law enforcement can advocate for the idea that tickets and ramifications are necessary and very important. The more people quarantine and social distance, the less coronavirus spreads. The faster the virus is contained, the sooner the business could reopen, students could attend school, and people could begin working again. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, it is critical to emphasize the maintaining 6 feet social distancing. When the virus is contained, people could also see their families, friends, and loved ones again, or people they were separated from during the quarantine. Since social media is so influential in today's world, it is important to express the need of social distancing online. It could be helpful to share the idea of ramifications and tickets in order to help improve the quarantine. If high-powered or government-related people see posts online about the idea of tickets and consequences, more people may start to support that idea, and eventually it may get put into place. On top of social media, remind the importance of quarantining to everyone you converse with. If all people and age groups do not follow and see the importance of self-distancing, it is likely that the number of cases will rise greatly again, and many more people would get infected. This would mean businesses, schools, and government facilities would continue to be closed. If everyone were to follow social distancing guidelines due to tickets and ramifications being implemented, the virus will be contained much better and faster. This would cause the virus to settle down, and death rates and infections would go down faster than expected. Though it is impossible for one individual to be the reason ramifications are put in place, there are small steps people can do to help to lead to this. People can express the importance of quarantining and social distancing to others over the phone, text, or social media. Small support by citizens, such as tweets, posts, or videos, will help push the government to implement this. With small actions by citizens to show the importance of quarantining and support tickets being written by the police when not following them, a difference will eventually be made. If more and more people show their support to mandatory quarantining with consequences if not followed, many lives could be saved. This global tragedy needs to be put to end, and it starts with individual citizens spreading their ideas and the importance of quarantining. Thank you for being a factor in containing the terrible coronavirus and being the first step to everyone following social distancing and quarantining.